An unassuming document titled Mars Exploration, May 22, 1984, is collecting virtual dust in the CIA archives. In this episode, we're going to talk about the time the intelligence agency says they sent a psychic to Mars, and whether or not we can believe it. We're a new channel covering under-the-radar, declassified files like this. Subscribe to join us. Published online 2 years ago with little fanfare, this document is one of the most peculiar things to come out of the Stargate Project. Stargate was a once-secret U.S. Army unit created to investigate whether psychic phenomena had any military use. The project was terminated and disclosed in 1995 after the CIA decided results were too inconsistent for intelligence applications. But that doesn't mean the project's findings aren't worth exploring. Stargate mainly focused on remote viewing, which is the alleged ability to see events, locations, and information psychically, even if the viewer was in a distant place or time. Practical remote viewing sessions were conducted, such as asking analysts to describe the contents of future magazine covers. Other, more extreme viewing targets were also given, which brings us to the truly weird exploration of Mars in 1984. In this session, an analyst, an unnamed male, was given a sealed envelope and a separate set of geographical coordinates from another unnamed individual known as the Monitor. The envelope contained the following information: the planet Mars, time of interest approximately 1 million years BC. According to the declassified transcript, the envelope was not opened by the analyst. He began describing what he saw. It looks like an oblique view of a pyramid or pyramid form. It's very high. It's kind of sitting in a large depressed area. It's yellowish, ochre colored. I'm tracking severe clouds, more like dust storm. It's a geological problem. Seems to be like just a minute, I've got to iron this out. It's really weird. I'm looking at a after effect of a major geological problem. The Monitor then asks the analyst to look around for any activity. I'm seeing it's like a perception of a shadow of people, very tall. It's only a shadow. It's as if they were there and they're not there anymore. The analyst attempts to go further back to see these people, but complains of what is only described as static. I just keep seeing very large people. They appear thin and tall, but they're very large, wearing some kind of strange clothes. We'll just take a break here to remind you this is an official CIA document. You can read it in the video description. The Monitor then asks him to move to a different physical location. They unfortunately don't explain where these coordinates are coming from. Deep inside of a cavern, more like a canyon, I'm looking up the sides of a steep wall that seem to go on forever. And there's like a structure. It's like the wall of a canyon itself has been carved. Again, I'm getting a very large structures, no intricacies, huge sections of smooth stone. He explains the structures have very high, wide rooms inside of them. 22 minutes pass, and the transcript resumes at new coordinates, where, just listen. They have appears to be the end of a very large road, and there's a marker thing that's very large. Keep getting Washington Monument overlay. It's like an obelisk. The concept of overlays comes up several times in this transcript. We couldn't find a formal definition of this, but based on how it is used, it implies objects from the remote viewer's memory can sometimes overlay objects in the vision if they are similar enough. The Monitor then gives him free range to choose areas he finds interesting, and he begins describing pyramids designed to be, quote, filtered from storms. They're like shelters from storms. He ventures inside these. 37 minutes pass, and the transcript resumes. Different chambers, but they're almost stripped of any kind of furnishings or anything. It's like a strictly functional place for sleeping, or that's not a good word, hibernations. I get real raw inputs: storms, savage storm, and sleeping through storms. The Monitor then asks, "Tell me about the ones who sleep through the storms." Very tall again, very large people, but they're thin. They look thin because of their height, and they dress it's like a real light silk. He continues, "They're ancient people. They're dying. It's past their time or age. They're very philosophic about it. They're just looking for a way to survive, and they just can't. 40 minutes pass, and the transcript resumes. Can't seem to get their way out. They can't seem to find their way out. So they're hanging on while they look or wait for something to return or something coming with the answer. When pressed on who might return, he continues. Evidently, it was a group or a party of them that went to find a new place to live. The analyst then explains what he sees when focusing on what caused the environmental disturbance, and he simply can't explain it. I see a picture of oh God, this is difficult. It's like a globe that goes through a comet's tail, or it's through a river or something, but it's all very cosmic. More on what this may be in a bit. We're then apparently made aware that the analyst has been communicating with an individual. It's possible more of this interaction was in the 40 minutes that passed before this part of the transcript resumed, but we don't know. Quote, "All I get is that they must just wait, doesn't know who I am, thinks he perceives I'm a hallucination or something." The monitor then asks how the others left Mars to find a new place to live. The analyst responded, "It looks like the inside of a larger boat, very rounded walls and shiny metal." The monitor then tells him to go along with them to find out where they go, and the analyst provides this explanation. "Impression of a really crazy place with volcanoes and gas pockets and strange plants. Very volatile place. It's very much like going from the frying pan into the fire. Difference is there seems to be a lot of vegetation where the other place did not have it, and different kind of storm." And that's it. The document concludes. We unfortunately get no post-session briefing or the ability to understand why the monitor chose Mars or if the analyst felt any after effects. And we have no way to verify the direct observations. But recent observations do tell us Mars did experience geological issues that could have contributed to the loss of the planet's magnetic field and evaporation of surface water. A 2009 study from the University of California, Berkeley shows asteroid impacts during a period known as the Late Heavy Bombardment about 4 billion years ago heated Mars's mantle. This could have disrupted convection in the core, enough to eliminate the magnetic field. Could that have been the comet the analyst was vaguely referring to? We also don't know if the time frame lines up. The initial date in the envelope was 1 million years BC, but remember, he ventured before that to a time when the beings he described still lived on the planet. Interestingly, there is evidence for another, more subtle geological problem on Mars, too. A 2017 paper from Oxford states basalt rocks on Mars' surface could have drawn water underground. This didn't happen on Earth due to differences in mantle chemistry. And there's more. Impact craters in the Martian northern plains suggest a large, shallow ocean still existed on the planet 3 billion years ago, according to findings from Paris's French National Center for Scientific Research. That's 1.6 billion years after the planet formed. Water may have existed long enough theoretically for complex life to evolve. The skeptic in us must also ask, if we can't confirm the validity of the CIA's observations millions of years ago, how do we know the information in the transcript is accurate at all? We can't speculate on this. All we can do is report on these documents, because there's really no reason they should be ignored by the mainstream media. If you like this video and want to see more, subscribe and hit the notification bell. A link to the transcript is in the description. Let us know in the comments if you believe the document.